question. Who's ever read a book and then seen the movie it's based on? Who can give me an example? Yeah.
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter. Okay. Yeah.
Percy Jackson.
Percy Jackson.
The Lord of the Rings.
The Lord of the Rings. Ooh, the Lord of the Rings. I'm impressed. Yes.
Hunger Games.
Hunger Games. Good. Anything else? Yeah.
Tuck Everlasting.
Tuck Everlasting.
Unbroken.
Unbroken.
The Maze Runner.
The Maze Runner.
The Hobbit.
The Hobbit. Okay, so what do you usually like better, the book or the movie? What do you think? Who thinks the movie? Who thinks the book?
It depends on what it is.
Yeah. Usually we like the book better. Why? Why do we usually like? Let's give different reasons. Yeah.
Because you don't know what's going to happen next.
Okay, in the book you don't know what's going to happen yet. Also, and then when you see the movie, you know because you've read the book. Okay. Why else? Yeah.
And there's more details described in the book.
Okay, there's more details described in the book. What else is in the book that isn't always in the movie? Yeah.
Like, you can create, like how the characters look.
You can create how the characters look, right, through descriptions. Okay, excellent. What else?
The movies take out all the good parts.
Okay, yeah, the movie takes out all the little dynamic parts about when characters get to know each other, right? There's a lot of stuff missing in the movie. Yeah.
Also for books, I like how you you can't expect anything. Like, it's just all new.
It's all new.
It's like seeing the movie and the best.
Okay, yeah, it's new and exciting. Well, and as Edsel said, right, in the book, and Jamie, we have these descriptions, right? They're words, but they pop out as images in our head. Am I right?
Yep.
Right?
Yes.
So in a sense, our brain is making its own mind movie. Have you ever thought of it that way?
Oh.
Mm.
No, not
Yeah,
right.
yes.
I have another book to add that's been a movie.
Uh-huh.
The Martian.
The Martian. Okay. Okay, that's another good one that lots of... I haven't read that book, but I've seen the movie. Okay. So, does everybody's mind movie look the same?
No.
No. And that's a lot of times, that's why I like reading better, reading the book rather than seeing the movie, in that we make our descriptions in our heads of the characters, right? And then we see them and we're like, that doesn't look like that character, right? Because we already have this expectation of what that person's going to look like. For sure. Okay. So technically, you could say your brain is like a file cabinet of mind movies. Yes? When we think of something, we get a visual picture in our head.
Yeah.
Yes? Okay, so we're going to practice doing that right now. And we're going to practice it. Yes, we're connecting it to ancient Greece. We're going to connect it to a famous philosopher's allegory. Oh my God, that was a lot of big words. First of all, who can think of a philosopher from ancient Greece? Raise your hand. Yes. Plato. Yes. You have,
I was going to say.
okay, yes. Socrates. Good. Anybody else? Aristotle? No? Okay. So, Plato is who wrote this allegory. Okay, now the tricky question. What does allegory mean? That is a tough word.
Building.
Not a building. Okay, it is a story, poem, or picture. This time it's a story that can be used to reveal a hidden meaning. So it's kind of like a metaphor, but it's a whole story. All right? So we're going to practice making a mind movie, listening to this story, okay? And then we're going to try and figure out what is this allegory about. And this is Plato's allegory of the cave. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I want you to make sure your marker is closed and down, and I want you to close your eyes. And your sole purpose right now is to make your mind movie as I read the story. Okay? And you will at one point be drawing your mind movie. Okay? So really pay attention. I will read it twice though. Okay. Are we ready? Yeah? Okay. Imagine a group of people sitting in the gloom of a cave. They are prisoners, bound by their hands and feet, unable to move freely. All they can do is sit in a line and look straight ahead at the wall of the cave. Now, imagine that you are one of those shackled prisoners. However, you do not know you are a prisoner because you were born in the cave, and it is the only life you have ever known because of the darkness of the cave. You cannot even see the other prisoners, although you know they are there because you can talk to each other. Every day on the cave wall in front of you, you see shapes pass back and forth. You and your fellow prisoners recognize these different shapes and give them names such as cat, or tree, or girl. Amongst yourselves, you see who can be the best at telling which image will come along next. You are satisfied with your life because you cannot imagine anything different. But, unknown to you, your life in the cave is not a full picture of the truth. If we look behind you and your fellow prisoners, we can see that a walled roadway passed through the cave. People carry life-sized cutouts of objects, such as cats, trees, or girls along this path. If we pull back further still, we can see a fire burning away fiercely. The fire creates shadows of the life-size cutouts that are carried across in front of it. It is these shadows that you and the other prisoners are watching on the cave wall. What you think is true is actually only a flat, shadowy copy of reality. Now, imagine you are suddenly freed of your chains. You stand up and turn around for the first time. You cannot understand what you are seeing. A bright light that dazzles you, clear objects and people that before you had only seen in gloomy shadows. Confused, you walk past the fire and the walled roadway and towards another light, and you find yourself outside in a fresh air and delight. The darkness of the cave has been left behind, and only for the first time in this new outside world, you see colors and shapes. How terrible to have only seen shadows before. Now, your eyes have adjusted to the light. You look up and see the sun shining brightly in the sky. You begin to think, if the fire in the cave was responsible for creating those shadows on the wall, then it must be the sun that brings this better world to life. Realizing that you have been living a lie, and you have only been watching a shadow play, you rush back to the other prisoners to tell them the truth. But they laugh at you, and you do not believe they do not believe what you say. How can they? They have never seen anything but the inside of the cave and the shadows projected on the wall. So you see, my young student, we must strive hard to look beyond what seems obvious at first. Knowledge and truth comes only with effort, like having to clamber out of a rocky cave, perhaps to be dazzled by the light. There are greater truths and ideas still to be found, and once you find this outside world, you will never want to go back to live the lie of life, imprisoned in the shadows. Okay, open your eyes. Okay, I do not want you to share your mental image. Your mind movie is yours. Okay? Now, I'm going to read it again. I know it's long. It's okay. And your task is to try and draw your mind movie on your whiteboard. Whatever you want. It's your mind movie. Your personal mind movie. Okay, you ready? Yes?
Yeah.
Defro, you ready?
Yeah.
Get your marker open. Marker's open. Oh, I'm going to move this so you have more room. Okay. Imagine a group of people sitting in the gloom of a cave. They are prisoners, bound by their hands and feet, unable to move freely. All they can do is sit in a line and look straight ahead at the wall of the cave. I'm going to give you a second to do your mind movie. Now imagine that you are one of those shackled prisoners. However, you do not know you are a prisoner because you were born in the cave and it is the only life you have ever known. Because of the darkness of the cave, you cannot even see the other prisoners, although you know they are there because you can talk to each other. Every day on the cave wall in front of you, you see shapes pass back and forth. You and your fellow prisoners recognize these different shapes and give them names such as cat, or tree, or girl. Amongst yourselves, you see who can be the best at telling which image will come along next. You are satisfied with your life because you cannot imagine anything different. But unknown to you, your life in the cave is not a full picture of the truth. If we look behind you and your fellow prisoners, we can see that a walled roadway passes through the cave. People carry life-size cutouts of objects such as cats, trees, or girls along the path. If we pull back further still, we can see a fire burning away fiercely. This fire creates shadows of the life-size cutouts that are carried across in front of it. It is these shadows that you and the other prisoners are watching on the cave wall. What you think is true is actually only a flat shadow copy of reality. So I'm just going to add on here if you want to create new pictures. Don't feel like you have to erase. Whatever you want to do. Now, imagine you are suddenly freed from your chains. You stand up and turn around for the first time. You cannot understand what you are seeing. A bright light that dazzles you. Clear objects and people that before you had only seen in gloomy shadows. Confused, you walk past the fire and the walled roadway and towards another light. And you find yourself outside in fresh air and daylight. The darkness of the cave has been left behind, and for the first time in this new outside world, you see colors and shapes. How terrible to have only seen shadows before. Now your eyes have adjusted to the light. You look up and see the sun shining brightly in the sky. You begin to think if the fire in the cave was responsible for creating those shadows on the wall, then it must be the sun that brings this better world to life. Realizing that you have been living a lie and have only been watching a shadow play, you rush back to the other prisoners to tell them the truth. But they laugh at you and do not believe what you say. How can they? They have never seen anything but the inside of the cave and the shadows projected on the wall. So you see, my young student, we must strive hard to look beyond what seems obvious at first. Knowledge and truth comes only with effort, like having to clamber out of a rocky cave, perhaps to be dazzled by the light. There are greater truths and ideas still to be found. And once you find this outside world, you will never want to go back to live the lives of life imprisoned in the shadows. I'm going to give you 10 more seconds to finish, and then your marker will be closed. Do not erase. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Markers down. You're going to, in complete silence, walk around and see each other's mind movies. In complete silence, and don't forget to check out Mr. Hill. Everybody up. We're not making notes on anybody. We're just walking around and noticing, is my mind movie the same as others? What's different? Can you understand it? And when you've walked around completely, you may take your seat. More seconds. Okay, we are going to share out our pictures in our group. And we are going to start with Krish's seat at each table and move clockwise. So that's Krish, Logan, Claire, Elizabeth. Yes? Okay. And you are going to share your picture, but I want to make sure when people are sharing that you are not adding to your picture. So all the markers should be closed right now. You're making eye contact and showing them your listening ear. All right, and go.
So basically, mine was, let's see, I worked outwards from the cave wall to the people, the path of the fire, and then here's the freedom part, and then here's the guy going out. So that's it. You.
Okay, here's no. Here's the cave, and then you finish watching the shadows, and then when you go out and you see the world, the sun, then you go back and tell them about it, and eventually you laugh.
Okay, so it's pretty confusing, but here they are, cave, this is a little area with just fire, and then we're here now, and then he goes outside, and then he tells them, and they laugh, and then this is beyond.
Okay, so this is mine. They all the 4 people. Fire, shadows, people. He's free. Sees the light, the sun. Then he thinks his life is a lie. Then he goes back and he's like, ha ha ha.
I've been living a lie for my entire life.
Shadows.
And that's it. Is she aware that the computer
So we should be on either the last or the second to last person. Is done?
Yeah. And then there's a guy who's like, there's a fire. And then here's the next one where he gets free. And then he goes away.
What if we have to do it again?
Really beautiful work of art.
So, here's what I want to ask you now. You guys all good? Did you share? Sorry, Ryan, I didn't mean to cut you off. You guys good? Okay, Dario, I'm going to have you share in a little bit. Okay, so hold on one second. Okay, so, did you guys notice similarities? Differences?
Yes.
Based on hearing it twice, are there any words that helped you make your mental movie? Are there any words that helped you make your mental movie? Share. Yes.
Like being free.
Free. Okay. Yeah.
Darkness.
Darkness. Okay. What else?
Shadows.
Shadows.
Light.
Light.
Lie.
Lie. Okay. Yeah.
Shapes and colors.
Shapes and colors.
My life is a lie.
Did anybody jump out a cave? Did that help with the mental imagery? Darkness. What about chains? Yes.
Beyond.
Beyond. Okay. All right. So, what do you think this allegory, Plato's allegory of the cave, is actually about? What do you think? Okay, I'm going to call on Ryan, but I'm going to read that last paragraph one more time. So you see, my young student, that's a direct quote from Plato, we must strive hard to look beyond what seems obvious at first. Knowledge and truth comes only with effort, like having to clamber out of a rocky cave, perhaps, to be dazzled by the light. There are greater truths and ideas still to be found, and once you find this outside world, you will never want to go back to live the lie of life imprisoned in the shadows. So before we hear a whole group, I want you to discuss in your small group what you think this allegory of the cave is about. Go.
I think it's about pain and exploring.
I think it's about
This is
all about labor.
Don't pay attention.
This is all school, like the cave is school. We're all like seeing shadows, school, and then we want to go real life. This is school, and school
Not
keeps us
everything crap made up. Basically, life here
And
makes
then
you
the
feel
people
alive.
back in the cave are the drunkards.
Nothing is good here.
That's not you.
It's all
Okay.
fun and
So-
games until you go real.
Hearing what you
I want
said,
to go
I
back
heard a
to
lot of
something
these big
nice.
sound bites.
school.
Okay, so
Tonight, no, not
knowing that these themes have come out of all of the conversations that you had, what is this about? Who can share what they think based on their class discussion, their group discussions, what they think this is about? Krish, Ruth, it is about truth. What about truth? What is Plato saying? What is Plato saying?
Make Play-Doh.
Becca, what do you think?
I personally think like don't just assume everything is true. Like you can wonder a little bit.
Oh, I like that. You can wonder a little bit. Okay. Thinking about that, knowing the election that we get exploded with in our face, right? Did you know that research shows that politicians lie more than the normal person? Interesting. So, is understanding that that truth takes effort and that pondering, as Beckett says, is important. Is that important in today's world?
Yes.
Yes.
Very.
Okay, what else? So besides the word that truth takes effort, what else? Think about the cave and what you knew as a prisoner, and then all of a sudden that changed. What does that tell you about truth? Is Dario's truth the same as Ethan's truth?
No.
Why not?
Because they're different people.
because they both perceive it in different
I've
ways.
heard so many good things, but they were all thrown at me at once. Share. Logan, what do you think?
Because they both perceive it in different ways.
They both perceive things in different ways, right? Which is shown through mind movies as well. Okay, what else might make their two truths different? I think Rebecca said some stuff. What'd you say?
They both have their own opinions.
Okay, they both have their own opinions. Okay, what else? Do Dario and Ethan live the same life?
No.
No.
Do they have the same experiences?
Probably not.
No, right? When Ethan has a mind movie right now of his house, it's going to be a different mind movie than Dario's, right?
Yes.
Okay, so a mind movie, so truth is what you know, right? So what does that have to do with why people have different opinions? What does truth have to do with opinions? I'm seeing some movie, shaky. So I'm going to repeat the question, and I'm going to have you share out in groups, starting with Drew's seat. The question is, why do people, knowing that all truths are different, why do people have different opinions? Go.
Okay.
Share in your group. That's you,
They
Ryan.
have different opinions because
That's you, Ethan.
they think differently. They have these brains.
Maybe you can phone a friend.
I don't know.
Okay, my turn.
They have different lives.
That's what I was going to say. Different lives, they experience things differently. It's not copying, definitely not. Life is good. Maybe it isn't. Depends on who you are. Like if you're in a sad life. Okay,
I'm
your
going to
turn.
give you 5 more seconds.
We're
5,
just
4,
okay,
3, 2, and 1. Marker closed. Krish, I want to hear who heard something that really made sense in their group. Who heard something that really made sense that they want to share? Catherine?
Jamie said that, like, if you lived your life eating red apples, and you think that you like red apples the best, then you've never had a green apple.
Interesting. What a lovely metaphor,
Unless
right?
you don't
Using
like the
apples. If her truth is only red apples, she would not understand why somebody else would want green apples, right? So how does she expand her truth?
Try new.
I agree. To try new, to put in effort, as Beckett says. Yes.
Our group said God made us different.
God, okay. God made you different.
This is
All right.
religion
And
class.
gave you different perspectives, but it's only because of your truth, right? That makes those different perspectives. And for many of us, that is God, right? Yes.
You like normally like what you grow around, like up around with like the people older than you that you see, you sort of have similar opinions to them
Because that is your truth, right? Isn't that so true about that a lot of times people believe a lot of the same things their parents believe, right? Because their parents are their truth. So, this was written ancient, right? In ancient Greece, on the unit we've been studying. So this was a long time ago. But can we still take this information and use it? Yes. Why is this philosophy? What does philosophy mean? These are philosophers, right? Plato was a philosopher. Based on this, what do you think philosophy means? What do you think philosophy means? Krish, what do you think?
to put things in metaphors and understand more.
Okay, to put things in metaphor. What types of things? Are they things you can hold like markers?
Concepts.
Your
Okay,
life.
stories to connect to meanings, concepts like truth. Is truth an easy thing to talk about? What is truth? No, right?
Study
It's
of
not
truth.
black and white. Because Adrian's truth is different from Logan's, right? Okay, so was this hard? I think it was pretty hard. Okay? And that's okay because it's hard. It's sometimes good to challenge our brains. All right, let's erase and we are done.